everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Tama and the Moment I Realized Peace. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Tama is not the kind of dog that makes strangers stop and stare. He doesn't have a dramatic coat, doesn't perform clever tricks on command, and definitely doesn't look like the kind of dog you'd see on posters or social media. Tama is small, round in a very honest way, and moves like he's always slightly late, but never stressed about it. Every morning, Tama wakes up before I do. Not because he's energetic, but because he believes mornings should be greeted slowly. He stretches one paw, then another, yawns like the world owes him more sleep, and finally sits beside my bed, waiting. He doesn't bark. He just waits, eyes half open, tail gently tapping the floor like a quiet reminder. It's time, but no rush. Our days together are simple. We walk the same street every morning. Tama always stops at the same tree, sniffs the same corner, and greets the same old cat who pretends not to care. Sometimes I feel embarrassed by how predictable we are, but Tama never seems bored. For him, familiar doesn't mean dull, it means safe. I used to walk fast. I used to check my phone, plan my day, replay yesterday's worries. Tama noticed this long before I did. He would suddenly stop walking, sit down firmly, and refuse to move. Not stubbornly, but gently, as if saying, "You forgot something." At first, I thought he was just tired, or lazy, or dramatic. But over time, I realized Tama stopped whenever I was rushing too much. When my steps became sharp, his became slower. When my mind ran ahead, he anchored himself to the ground. At home, Tama follows me everywhere. He lies near my feet when I work, sighs loudly when I forget to take breaks, and falls asleep the moment I finally sit down. His breathing is deep and steady, like he trusts the world without conditions. I didn't think much of it back then. Tama was just Tama, and life was just life, busy, loud, and always asking for more. The moment I realized peace didn't arrive with fireworks or music. It arrived on a rainy afternoon, quietly, the way Tama always does. That day had been heavy. Work felt endless, messages kept piling up, and my thoughts refused to slow down. The rain outside was soft but constant, tapping on the windows like a question I didn't want to answer. I sat on the floor, back against the couch, feeling tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. Tama walked over and sat beside me. Not on my lap, not in my arms, just beside me. Our shoulders touched. He leaned slightly, warm and solid, then let out a long, satisfied breath. I remember noticing small things. The sound of his breathing, the warmth of his fur, the way his ears twitched every time a car passed outside. Tama wasn't trying to comfort me in a dramatic way. He wasn't trying to fix anything. He was simply there. And then it hit me. For the first time in days, maybe weeks, my chest felt lighter. My thoughts didn't disappear, but they softened. The rain stopped being noise and started being rhythm. Tama shifted, rested his head on my leg, and closed his eyes, as if the world was exactly how it should be. I realized something important in that quiet moment. Tama was not living despite uncertainty. He was living with it. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but he trusted today enough to relax. I had spent so much time chasing calm, trying to earn peace through productivity or control. Tama had been showing me a different way all along. Peace wasn't something to achieve. It was something to notice. That afternoon, we didn't do anything special. We didn't go anywhere. We just sat. And for the first time in a long while, that felt like enough. Living with Tama taught me that peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of connection. Animals don't demand that life be perfect before they relax. They accept what is, moment by moment, and choose trust over fear. Tama never asked me to change my life overnight. He simply invited me to slow down beside him. In today's fast-paced world, we often treat rest as a reward and calm as something we'll reach later. Tama reminded me that later is not guaranteed, but now is always available. By watching him, I learned to walk more slowly, to listen more carefully, and to notice small comforts I once ignored. This story is not just about a dog. It's about the quiet lessons animals offer us every day: patience, presence, and unconditional companionship. When we care for animals, we don't just give them food and shelter. We build a shared space of trust and mutual healing. My advice is simple: Let animals be your teachers. Sit with them. Watch how they live. Respect their rhythms. In doing so, you may find yourself becoming kinder, not only to them, but to yourself and the world around you.